In today's video we will discuss the top 10 greatest wrestlers to never win a world title. Please make sure you subscribe to the Top 10 Jaw-Dropping Facts channel. In wrestling, winning the championship is the main goal. Unfortunately for a lot of great wrestlers, they never make it to the promised land. Here is the list of individuals who did not. Number 10. Tully, Blanchard and Arn Anderson. I just had to put these two together. They dominated the tag scene in the late 80s and were by themselves great single wrestlers. Running with the Four Horsemen brought both fame and fortune but kept them from getting title shots at Ric Flair. Number 9. Magnum TA. The longtime US champ had his career cut short by an auto accident, or he surely would have gotten a chance to take the title from Ric Flair in the 80s. We will always be left to think of what might have been. Number 8. Barry Windham. I know he won the NWA title in 1993 and had a nice run with the strap. But it was not really a world title anymore. At that point it was a secondary title in WCW, like the ECW title was back then. Windham was a technical wizard for a man his size, and despite getting many main event matches, was never allowed to run with the ball. Number 7. Nikita Koloff. The original Goldberg. He came out just crushing people in the 80s. He also had several great main event matches with Flair, only to never get the gold. He was also rumored to have been offered a big run with the WWF in the 80s to work with Hogan and reportedly turned it down. He even had a run with the AWA in its dying days against Larry Zbyszko. It's a shame he never got the big win. Number 6. Paul Orndorff. Another in the long line of 80s WWF guys who should have gotten a run. Hulk Hogan and Orndorff had a great rivalry, and he almost took the gold every time, only to have the Hulkster come back on him. In the NWA, Ric Flair was letting others have brief runs. Unfortunately, Orndorff, he stayed with Vince a little too long. Number 5. Owen Hart. Another technical wizard who never got the just respect he earned. If Owen Hart had been 6'4" and 255 pounds, he would have been a long-time title holder. WWF/WWE almost never let a smaller wrestler get the big gold, and when they did, it was only his big brother Bret and Shawn Michaels who got the chances. Owen should have gotten the gold. Number 4. Rick Rude. Another wrestler who held the NWA title as a secondary WCW belt. But he never did get his deserved run as a true world champion. He was an over-the-top entertainer who could even carry the Ultimate Warrior to a good match. That alone should have gotten him a title run. Number 3. Ted DiBiase. The $1 Million Man didn't always get his man. Again, another great technical wrestler who never got the push past Hogan. He had the gimmick and the mic skills, not to mention the ring skills. The WWF of the 80s seemed to frown upon technical wrestling, and DiBiase never got the gold. He had great matches with Randy Savage but was never allowed to win the gold. Truly a shame. Number 2. Scott Hall. Throughout most of his career, Hall was always the next guy to get the belt. He waited behind Diesel, Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels in the WWF, and behind Kevin Nash, Diesel, Hollywood Hogan and Sting in WCW. He brought most of his lack of main event status on himself, but one fact remains: he could really wrestle. Number 1. Rowdy Roddy Piper. One of the only men to be allowed to cleanly beat Hulk Hogan, but it came in a non-title match. Every win versus a world champ was always by DQ or just a non-title match. Others on this list have better in-ring skills, but none reached the mainstream success of the Rowdy one. Even today, the fact that he was never world champ is something jabronis like Santino to bring up. Hey, if Vince got to be champ for a week in his 50s, why not Roddy? We also have some honorable mentions. Superfly Snuka, Greg Valentine, Dean Malenko, and Bob Orton Jr. Even though Jimmy Superfly Snuka did not win a championship, he has been referenced in countless rap songs. I hope you enjoyed our top 10 greatest wrestlers to never win a world title. Please comment below which wrestler on this list you wish would have won a world championship. Do not forget to subscribe to the Top 10 Jaw-Dropping Facts channel. And new episodes release every Monday through Friday.